Welcome to the Sport MBT Insider, a platform where we are unrelenting in covering our women in sport. And of course, we absolutely love celebrating them, celebrating those big moments and of course, sometimes some of those small moments as well. Today, we are focusing on the sport of hockey. We've got an absolutely phenomenal hockey player joining us today. Her name is Bianca Wood. Bianca, how are you doing today?
Hi, Aaron. I'm super excited to obviously give this opportunity to kind of share my story a bit. So I'm quite excited.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today. I would like for us to start the conversation here. Yes, we know that you're a phenomenal hockey player, but let's talk about Bianca away from the turf. Who is Bianca completely in a different environment, not playing hockey?
Yeah, that is a very good question that even I would like to find out myself, because I'm always on the turf. When I get like a chance to be on the turf, I obviously love it. But Bianca off the field, not gonna give you the classics about I'm a bubbly person, outgoing, kind of boring. So I'll tell you like deeply about myself. So obviously I've got like a nice, compact, small family. Myself, my brother, my mother. So just family orientated type of person. So I'm mostly like at home like all the time. If I'm not at home, I'm on the turf or I'm away on tour. So that's just me. And I think my personality is the exact same when I'm on the field as much as off the field. So like I'm quite loud when I'm comfortable around people. I'm quite like clumsy and I'm just like full of energy, man, and like easygoing. Yeah, but I would definitely say off the field, nothing is quite different. It's pretty much the same.
All right, absolutely beautiful. Apparently, you weren't really interested in the sport of hockey. It's not something that really tickled your fancy. But tell us about why it never interested you, but then also, how did you fall in love with the sport of hockey?
Yeah, some deep questions here. To start off with, my family is quite sporty. My mother played netball. Father was a soccer player. Brother was an athlete, done athletics. He played soccer. He also played hockey. So I just grew up in that sporty environment. I definitely enjoyed soccer more. I don't know why, because I was like a tomboy growing up. I grew up around all my cousins, just males, just males. And I just really like enjoyed the freedom of just playing, man, you know? And then this one day, I picked up my brother's hockey stick that he used. And I was just doing some yardsticks and everything. And then he was looking at me and I was like, why are you looking at me? He was like, do you know what you're doing? And I'm like, no, I'm just hitting a ball around. And he was like, you can actually like dribble a ball. Like you can do a decent yardstick. And I was like 4 or 5. And I was like, I don't understand this. I don't want to do this. I don't know how to hold the hockey stick. It felt unnatural to me, to be honest. And then he kind of like groomed me into it. Because he was like, come on, man, let's do this. Let's go to the field, me and you, see what you can do. And then once I got onto the field, I don't know what exactly it was, but I got this deep burning inside of me that I can't really explain. And then I just like soaked everything in and I just like went for it. I was letting loose in the field. I was running, I was hitting, and I was like just having such an amazing time on the field. I didn't want to go home even. It got so dark, and I was like, I don't want to leave. And then I think that's when I fell in love with the sport. And then, funny enough, I started as a goalkeeper first at my old school when I was like a little bit younger. And then I was like, I don't really enjoy this because I'm not getting the ball, I'm not touching it, I'm not interacting with anyone. This is not fun for me. So then I became a striker and then kind of liked the attention a bit. So I definitely like that position more. And ever since then, it's just been me and hockey then. That's how
Wow.
it started.
Absolutely beautiful. That's an incredible story. But I would now like to also touch on how has hockey, since you fell in love with the sport, completely changed your life on and off the turf?
Firstly, there's one thing that you can't run from is making long life friends, honestly speaking. Like once you meet a nice group of people and you start bonding with them on and off the field, it just makes you fall in love with the sport so much more. you know. Um, on the field, obviously, it's opened up so many doors. Like people start getting to know your name, they start recognizing you, they start speaking to you, start looking for advice. Because my story is quite similar to like a lot of youngsters out here, where we come from like a small place where like no one takes us seriously. It's either drugs or alcohol, the
Yeah.
basics, the norm. So hockey kind of saved me to not go down that path, you know. So I was always like, I'm going to gym, I'm not going to the party this weekend. I've got training on Saturdays, I'm not doing that. And then along the way, you kind of lose friends, but then you gain lifelong friends in the sport that will just understand you more, you know. And then off the field, obviously, I'm a very vibey person, very chit chatty. So I'm just like, I love people, obviously, and just like being able to like tell people my story and like motivating them as well. So like coaching at like a school and coaching like younger kids, giving them opportunity I got when I was their age, you know, just helping them fall in love with the sport as much as I did, or try to at least.
Wow, absolutely beautiful. The one thing about your journey that truly stands out is that you made good progress through the youth development structures, right? I would like for us to
Yeah.
talk about how important is development in the sport of hockey.
I personally honestly think that it's the most important because that's where it all starts. That's where it all started for me. I know for a fact. Because I had like an astroturf right around my house. So like we would go every Saturday morning, like a whole group of us, like everyone from my neighborhood, from my area would go every Saturday because we had like coaches there that would help for free, man, on a Saturday. I mean, like they're giving up their time that they could spend with their families, but they're out there trying to improve the hockey in our community. So I think that's really important because if that didn't happen for me, I don't think I would have played the sport, to be honest. I don't think I would have achieved half the things that I've achieved so far if I didn't start with development. Because that's where it all starts. That's what the platform is. So I think it's really, really important.
Absolutely beautiful. Let's talk about 2019. I'd like to take you back to that year. Of course, that's an incredibly special year for you, and that's the year that you made your senior debut for the women's national field hockey team. Take us through that call when you actually realized that, listen, they're giving me a call up to go and play for the national team, but also the experience of playing that test series against Namibia.
Stressful. Stressful. Yo, I remember going to camp and obviously being like the only one from East London or Eastern Cape. It's always difficult to like kind of get into the groove of things and to play hockey at such a high intensity because everyone is from Joburg, from Pretoria, so they kind of know each other. There's like a goal vibe going and like familiar with each other. And I was there like, firstly, I was young. And secondly, I was like feeling a bit like alone because I didn't know anyone. I knew a few national players, everything that I've watched play before, but I didn't know them personally. So I was still a bit starstruck. And I was like, is this actually happening? Like, Kristen Payton is here. Lisa Deadlift's here. And I was like, geez, guys, deep end. But then I remember speaking to Marcel Keat. So we kind of always like have like these nice talks. So well, she spoke to me before I left. And then she was like, "Okay, B, this is your time. This is your moment. Just do what you normally do." Because I'm not a good thinker. Don't like to do that. So she was like, "Don't think on the field. Just be you and just play." And then that was kind of like, okay, cool. That's nothing new. It's gonna be obviously wearing your whole badge. Obviously, you're playing for so much more. It's no more school hockey. It's no more child's play. This is the real deal now. Like you kind of like have to kind of show the people that you can't only just play school hockey, but you can play at a good level. And it definitely was challenging. I won't lie, it was not easy at all. Firstly, fitness wise, don't think I was in the best shape. So that was always a struggle, but I kind of made the most of it. And I think I kind of like performed quite decently. I done my job that I had to do. So I think that's why I could at least go to Valencia and like go to Spain a bit. So I think that's a good start for me. So
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely beautiful. Quite an exciting journey as well.